I want to tell you about the first sign that the flu epidemic could be starting to peak. Tonight, 47 states are swamped by the virus. Only 3 states have escaped the worst of the outbreak: California, Mississippi, and Hawaii. But there are some new clues to show you tonight, stirring hope. And ABC's chief medical editor, Dr. Richard Besser, is here to show us. Rich.
Yeah, tonight I'm cautiously optimistic. There is finally a sign in some of those southern states hit earliest and hardest that the peak of the flu epidemic has passed.
Tonight, amid all the sneezing and coughing, a glimmer of hope. We talked to hospitals and health departments across the South, and many are seeing it. From Knoxville, Tennessee, we're seeing that downturn. To North Carolina, looks like we peaked early. But it's not universal. Even in the same states, some hospitals are still getting slammed. Our numbers don't yet reflect a downturn. A doctor from Duke University Hospital, also in North Carolina, tells us. This year's flu season hit early, November 25th, a month earlier than a typical one. We're now 6 weeks into it, and if this year is like years past, we likely have 6 or more weeks to go, meaning it's not too late to get some protection. And today, the CDC provided the first indication of how well the vaccine is working. Turns out it's 62% effective, meaning if you got the vaccine, you're 62% less likely to have to visit your doctor for the flu. But the CDC acknowledges there have been shortages of that vaccine. So our team fanned out across the country to see what they could find. In Chicago,
I'm going to log on to flu.gov to find the closest place for me to get the flu shot.
At the pharmacy, success.
Do you guys have any flu vaccine left?
We certainly do.
In New York City, another success.
So right now you're administering about 10 vaccines an hour?
Yeah.
But in Gulfport, Mississippi, our first call came up empty.
Ma'am, I'm being told that we don't have any.
You don't have any left. Okay.
And tonight, the CDC says, if at first you don't succeed, keep calling around.
So with these weeks left, Rich, can you get the flu twice?
You know, unfortunately, you can. There's at least 3 strains of flu that are out there. So if in October, November, you got one strain, you're susceptible to those other ones. So it's not too late to get protected.
So the flu shot still matters because you can get it again anytime.
You can.
And what about those 3 states that appear to be spared the worst? Any reason why?
Yeah, I mean, it's the way flu works. It'll start in one part of the country, and they'll see a big wave, and then it'll come down, and then it moves around. And they are not going to be spared in the end. It's going to get there. It happens every time. And California, for some reason, is often late. They're going to see the flu.
All right. A bold prediction there. Thank you so much, Rich. And as we make our way through these weeks of the flu, nearly 40% of us are also using so-called complementary treatments, those herbs and remedies we see in the drugstore and in kitchen cabinets. So we asked ABC senior medical contributor Dr. Jennifer Ashton to review which ones really help.
If you're homesick with the flu, boosting traditional treatments with natural ingredients you can find in your local vitamin store may bring you some real relief.
Elderberry, particularly the Sambucol type, is what you're looking for.
There are studies that show that elderberry, which comes in pill and extract form, shortens the duration of flu symptoms in adults. It can also help ease swollen sinuses. Just don't eat the wild berries. They can be toxic. And look what you can find in the supermarket.
In the spice aisle, you might want to reach for a jar of turmeric.
The popular Indian spice contains a substance called curcumin, which is believed to help prevent viruses from spreading in your body. And what about that old favorite?
Chicken soup. Your mom might have been onto something, and there's actually science behind it.
Studies have shown that homemade remedy can help clear up congestion. And one prominent journal reported that chicken soup actually affects your body's white blood cells, holding them back from creating congestion in your body, meaning less coughing and less sneezing. And it's not something seen with any other soup.
Now, more research needs to be done on these and other treatments, and it is important to remember that complementary medicine should not be a substitute for traditional medicine, Diane.
But these things do intrigue you.
Indeed they do. They do intrigue me.
With the possibility they do help. Okay, thank you, Jen Ashton.